Hey everyone, this is Fabio and welcome back. Today I decided to do a slightly different video and it's a sort of video game and memories. And the theme of this is mainly video gaming and our parents. It's a struggle that it's very common for all of us, I believe. The constant struggling between our parents and gaming and our beloved hobby, something that started for all of us when we were really young. We saw a commercial on TV or on a magazine, like, the new Mega Man game is coming out. Mom, can I have Mega Man 3 for the Nintendo? No. I mean, all of us went through that. I'm sure that all of us went through that nightmare that we always have to beg our parents for games because when we were young, that was the only way to manage to gather a game. Or you were lucky and managed to gather some money on your own. Sometimes it happened, but for the most part, we relied on our parents, and it was really hard. I mean, it was difficult for me having games. It mainly happened once or twice a year, the usual birthday, Christmas, and sometimes it didn't even give me games for Christmas, but and they always my parents are not completely against gaming. I mean, they don't like it very much, but they never try to prevent me from gaming, and I always appreciate that because hey, it's my hobby, it's not them, it's not theirs. So they always say we don't like it very much, but it's your hobby. So but there are times that my parents face gaming in a way that um, it always perplexes them. I mean, there's some moments that happen in my past as a gamer that involve my parents, and they are pretty funny, I think. So I decided to share these stories with you, and definitely leave video responses, comments, to let me know some of the struggles that your parents and yourself had to went through because of this difficult relationship. That was really normal, I think, at the time, especially when we were young. Now things are kind of different, I believe. Gaming is much more accepted as an hobby than it was back then. It's not that, as I said, they were necessarily against it. It's like, no, you have to stop gaming. You understand me? But it was more like, okay, you're a gamer, but we'll make it hard for you. You have to earn it. The fact that I was also a bit lazy at school didn't help very much, even though I did good and okay at school. But the first one I remember, it's a habit now. It's a classic in my family. It's about me and my father, and the fact that, especially when I am on my own, like I live with my brother, but sometimes I'm on my own, and every time I'm on my own and I'm talking with my parents on Skype, at the end, before saying hello, my father always says to me, "Don't go to bed at 5 a.m. because you have to play video games." It's like, come on, Dad. Because the fact is that this is something that started when I was in middle school. Back then, I that was the moment when I became a better gamer, a real gamer. It was the moment when, during the Super Nintendo days, I started to think I really want to go into this hobby. I really love gaming. The possibilities with consoles like the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, and probably the next ones, it's limitless. So, however, the thing is that I play games mainly at night, and that is where it started during middle school. Because during the day I went to school, of course, and I have to do homework. Sometimes I went with friends, even though when I visit friends, the most thing that we did was gaming. Because, but on my own, I play games mostly at night, and it's something that stayed with me my whole life. Even now, when I go home, I play games during the night. And the funny thing is that my father always returns from work pretty late at night. Then he has dinner, and then he finally goes to bed. But it's always like around midnight or something like that when he finishes and is ready to go to bed. But at the same time, it's back then it was when I was right in the middle of my gaming experience at night. So when I was playing games like Castlevania 4, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, the great classics, or even more obscure one like Uni Rally. I remember that friggin' racing game, or Syndicate. fucking Page Master, one of my most hateful game of all time. It was always at night because I wanted to play. I wanted to go beyond my limits. Like, I couldn't defeat this boss yesterday. I want to. Oh, I'm exploring a new area. Um, I have to finish this game. I have to do this and this, and it was always at night for me. So every time, every single night. But the problem is, I forgot to mention that I also have to go to school the next day, and my house is pretty far away from the school that I went. And for this reason, every single day I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. The problem is, if you're going to bed every night at least at 1:30, 2 a.m., things are going to get hard. And I managed to keep this rhythm for middle school and high school. I don't know how I hold up, but it was fantastic. Personally, playing game at night with my crappy TV was really bad, a really old TV over. I don't even know the brand of that. It was really unknown one, and always really close, playing my Super Nintendo next to my PlayStation. And every night, my father entered my room, look at me with this disappointed look in a way, and say, "Go to sleep. You have school tomorrow." In a minute, yes, and then I skipped playing my Super Nintendo. It was fantastic. And since then, every time that he can, he always says, "Don't go to sleep too late because you have to play video games." Next, I remember this. This is a classic. This is a classic of mine. It was during my final year at middle school, and initially you have to pass an exam in order to be admitted into high school. And I already did the first part of the exam, that was the writing. Next day, I have the oral. So I was halfway through this. The night before, however, that night, I wasn't nervous or agitated because I studied. I was well prepared. I did very well at this exam. For whatever reason, I couldn't sleep. I was there in my bed, looking at the ceiling of my room. Right, what now? So I look at my TV and at my PlayStation because I had the PlayStation at that point, and say, well, let's pass some time. Let's relax by playing some PlayStation. And at that moment, I was playing Medal of Honor, the first game that was considered in a way the first really good, really big first-person shooter on the PlayStation. I'm sure there were others, but I don't remember now. And Medal of Honor was my first one because on PlayStation I focused on like RPGs, this kind of things. But a friend of mine gave me Medal of Honor and I loved it because I love this World War II based first-person shooter. Even though I prefer Wolfenstein for the um, more insane plots. Sorry, and I started playing Medal of Honor. And I had a great time. The only problem is that I didn't realize that I spent the entire night playing. And the next morning, my mom came inside my room and looked at me like, "What are you doing? Are you insane? You got an exam today." I'm fine. I'm playing some Medal of Honor. And of course, I did great the next day. And then I think I slept for like 12 hours straight because I was exhausted. But I did great at my exam, even though I spent the entire night gaming, playing Medal of Honor. And my mom come inside, like, "What are you doing?" That's classic. Uh, Another one with my mom and gaming. It's that we're fast forwarding to some years later. Um, I was at least 18 by this time, so I have my own car and I can move freely. And for that year's birthday, I don't know how, but I managed to convince my parents to give me an Xbox, the original Xbox for my birthday, because there was one game that I really wanted for that thing. And it's the main reason why all of us basically had the original Xbox. Halo, of course. I wanted to play Halo so badly after I saw some commercials and mainly some articles on magazines, images. I was sold. I said, I need this game. I begged my parents for I don't know how much time, but at the end I did it and I ordered my Xbox. And for my birthday, I managed to get it there, collect my console and Halo, went back home, I ran inside the home, and at this point, I changed some things. I didn't stay in my room anymore. I stayed for games at least. I used the basement of our house, and I also upgraded my TV. I had now a big, massive TV. It was not high definition. We didn't have those yet. It was this really heavy, really old. It was a recycled TV from my grandparents. I don't know. It was pathetic, but it was the only way that I can use some spare TVs, gather some spare TVs for gaming. But I have this huge TV that I still use it, by the way. It's a really good TV for old school games, especially. And so I can like enjoy next generation graphics on the big screen. It was a big deal. So I remember, and after a while, I managed to hook up the Xbox. I turned off the lights. I turned on the Xbox, and I will remember this moment for my entire life. It was fantastic when I admired the opening screen, the title screen of Halo, and we all remember this, but it was a magical moment with that music, with the Halo in space. I was sitting there holding the Duke on my hand and was just flabbergasted. It was mind blowing. I think I had goosebumps. I went, this is fucking amazing. And I listened to the music so hearing so cool for minutes before it hit start and started to play. And of course Halo was a phenomenal experience. That game is awesome. We all know it. It's Halo. And it's a really good reason, together with other games, to own an Xbox. I highly recommend it. If you never play Halo, where are you living? And I didn't even realize I was so into that game. It was phenomenal, naturally. I had a great time. But I didn't realize that at least 3 hours or something passed. And all of a sudden, my mom came downstairs, walked into the room really angry. I was like, pause the game. I was like, oh, what's wrong, mom? Like, are you out of your mind? What were you thinking? Just for playing this stupid game. I was like, what's the matter? What did I do? What did I do this time? Me and gaming. But you want to play this stupid game so badly that you left your keys in the lock outside of the door, you moron. So like, oops. But I need to play Halo. I mean, I was so excited I ran out of the house, slammed the door, but like, I forgot my keys outside. I forgot to lock the door, so I left my door open with my keys outside. Fantastic, Harry. Luckily, my house is in a pretty isolated area of my town, so there is no danger whatsoever. But you don't do things like this if you have some common sense. But I needed to play Halo. I love it. My mom was so angry. I mean, it's just stupid games. I can't help it. I needed to play this game. And the last one, and then I stop because I can go on forever, but this is also very funny, I think. It happens this Christmas when I play Mass Effect. Again, like always, I played at night because during the day I want to spend time with my parents, since now we live in separate places, of course. Um, so I resort to my old school ways, so playing games at night. And it was something like 1 a.m. It was pretty late already. And I started playing Final Fantasy 13 as my first game for the PS3. Was really excited. Seeing these graphics on a massive HD screen this time. I still have my old one, but it's in the other game room with my old system. For HD consoles, big screen, fantastic. So after 2 hours that I played Final Fantasy 13, I said, let's try something else because I had a lot of games to try. And I boot up Mass Effect. And I started playing and played. It was fantastic. All of a sudden, again, I saw my mom, and she was like looking around like this, really suspicious. It was like she was looking for something. I paused again and said, "Mom, what's wrong? What are you doing here at this hour?" I mean, funny that I was saying that. It's late. I said, "But that's something that's happening. It's something weird." I mean, what do you mean? Um, we are looking around the house because we're hearing strange noises. What? Because I'm playing the game, so I cannot hear anything. It's like someone it's hitting the guardrails outside the windows, like someone wants to break in the house. What? Yes, there is this boom, boom, boom noise, something like this. I was, wait a second. So I continue playing the game. Is this the noise? So I started shooting the gun in Mass Effect. It's like boom, 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 a sound like this. She looked at me like, go to sleep. I didn't realize that I kept the volume pretty high because I want to enjoy the full experience. I kept it really high actually, and my parents thought that someone was trying to break into the house, but in reality was the gun from Mass Effect. So these are just some memories of the constant struggling between my parents and video gaming in one way or another. I mean, starting from my parents begging me to go to sleep at night because I have to go to school during middle school time, when I totally forgot to sleep in order to play Medal of Honor, forgetting my keys outside the lock because I was too excited to play Halo. Um, Maybe my parents think that someone was trying to break inside the house because I was playing Mass Effect with the volume too high. I mean, these are classics, and just some of my many memories of this constant battle between parents and gaming. And my parents are fantastic, as I said. They never really try to prevent me to playing games. They always try to moderate it as my hobby because I love it so much that they say, we understand it, it's fine, but you will make it worth it for you. I mean, it will not be easy, but at the end it works. It worked out perfectly. I mean, I love gaming, I love my parents, but it was hard. It was hard. Now things have changed because of course, I'm a grown-up man now, and they don't treat me as a kid anymore. But still, sometimes it's still difficult. So there you have it. Some memories of parents and gaming. Definitely video responses, guys. Let me know some of your frustrating memories, funny memories of this struggle that you have to go through, because we all have to went through this once or once in our lives. I mean, it happened to every one of us. I know that. So, guys, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you next time.